Hey everybody, ModelMan here, and this is a look at the Wave Tachikoma. I got this guy when they were first released, and I believe that they're in a second release right now. It only happens every few years when it does happen. I happened to pick this one up off of eBay for a really good price. I think it was like $30 shipped. No one was looking at it, I guess, and I just lucked out and got it. As with most Japanese kits, it's an unsealed box, but everything inside is certainly well organized. So you may be wondering what a 1949 Mercury two-door coupe and a Tachikoma have in common. Basically, it's the scale. The car is 1/25th, Tachikoma is 1/24th, so that made it pretty close for me. So if you shrink the Tachikoma by just a hair, or you bulk up the Mercury by just a bit, then you'll have what's in scale with each other. But certainly this Motoko could fit into the driver's seat there fairly easily, as well as back here on the Tachikoma. So let's break out the rest of these parts and see what's up. So a quick look at the instructions shows that they're all in Japanese. Being a Japanese kit kind of makes sense. All the numbers are in English, and all the directions are pretty straightforward as to where everything goes, so there's really not any questions as to what's going to be going on. So the final assembly is real nice. It looks like this is some kind of coupon, available only in Japan, that you can send into Wave. And then a final painting guide on the back. All of the colors are in Japanese, but you do get swatches to match everything up for yourself. This is a fun little kit to build, however, there are a lot of pain in the butt things to deal with. Specifically, all of these guys here. These are a rubber sort of material, and their size is such that when they fit in the joints, this allows you to have movable joints here, basically. And trying to get those in there, even with my arthritis as it was 5 years ago when I first got this kit, holy cow, it's not something I'm looking forward to at all. They're really difficult fits, and maybe I'll do it better next time I build this, but I'm not looking forward to it at all. It's a lot of pressure fitting to get all the pieces in there. Some of them stick well, some of them will just fall apart, but they do pretty much their function. The whole model you can take apart and put back together any old time you want. I may have glued this one in, it looks like. The arm should come off though. Nope. So yeah, I probably glued this hip in maybe. But all the parts come apart really nicely. There's a few different color schemes you can do for these guys if you watch the series, of course. At the time I was lamenting it, my decision, because basically it came down to that I just had to do blue one for the first one. However, what I really like to do is the yellow and black construction one, and I'd really love to have all 5. But at 50 bucks a piece, you're looking at a good amount of money. So I'll pretty much leave the pieces in the packs here. They build up into a nice little thing, and I think being able to see it in a built small modular piece like this probably helps out a lot overall. One mistake I did do when I first built this was to go far too heavy with the paint. So even though the lines are fairly well defined, these days I could certainly do a much better job. And one other thing I wanted to do back then but didn't know how, and certainly can do now, is these 4 little points up here in the 2 pairs. Those should be red, and all you need to do for that is drill out some hole, put some fiber optics in there. This is more than large enough to hold a 9-volt battery and an LED. That's really all the lighting that's on these guys. There may be red in back, yeah. So that is a real nice easy trick to do to really bring this guy to life even more so than it is already. And of course, taking a look at these pieces here, you get a good idea of how they're going to go together overall. The arms definitely went together a little tough. There are a few of these pieces were kind of really delicate, but definitely far and away the most difficult stuff was this rubber material here. There's some nifty little parts if you had the money and you just wanted to turn this into a box of Greeblies. You've got all sorts of cool shapes to do really cool stuff with. However, that is a bit of an expensive option overall. One thing I am hoping to do is cannibalize a few of these parts to get into this guy here, because he is missing a joint or two, or I think he's missing a foot as well, and getting all that back together would definitely be nice. So it'd be good for him to have a buddy around. However, even if that's not possible, he can still be weathered up in such a way that he's shot to hell and is missing parts that he is missing, because a number of times the Tachikomas were certainly come to near full destruction in a lot of cases. So I think that's pretty much it. The Wave Tachikoma. It should have a second release right now. It's 2013, 2014 going into. So good luck with that. I'd love it if they redid the Uchikomas. Those were massively expensive. I think the Jigabachi is out again right now as well. I have one of those that I did a review on way back when. I'd love to have a squadron of 4 or 5 of those, but again, $50, $60, $70 each. It gets a little expensive. But I'm really glad that Wave, Bandai, and any of the other companies that take on anime model kits are doing the things they're doing, because having a Tachikoma is really cool, and there's a lot of great designs from Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop, and I'd love to see if they did the Hammerhead or the Bebop itself, or there's all sorts of really great material and designs there. So any company that makes anime kits, that's definitely a good thing, whatever kind of anime you're into. So if you're a Ghost in the Shell fan, this is definitely a great little kit to have, especially if you're a model builder and you can put them amongst other things. The Tachikoma 1/24th scale construction kit. That about says it all. Thanks for watching. See ya. ModelManTom channel would like to thank the following for their sponsorship. Elliot Brown of Kingston Vacuum Works, featuring Fedoratron.com and WarmPlastic.com. Lighting for extraordinary modelers, and vacuforming tables for designers, modelers, and engineers. Kingston Vacuum Works covers it all. Paul at thefiberopticstore.com, now presenting the beta version of its new site, thefiberopticprojects.com, for an exceptional selection and great prices of fiber optics of all sizes and quantities. Thefiberopticstore.com. Carpenter Creations. If you can dream it, you can make it. Brad and Carpenter, science fiction artists. From full-scale board cubicles or droid displays of all kinds. Carpenter Creations. Steve Neal's Garage. Props and models for motion picture and discerning collectors, as well as prosthetic makeup and CG. Contact Steve through stevenealsgarage.com. Model reviews from Round 2 Models, AMT, MPC, Polar Lights, and Lindbergh. Scale Model Addict Magazine. The Orbital Defense Engineering Commission, a 2001 A Space Odyssey specific forum for scale model kits, reviews, news, and discussion. Odec.proboards.com. More than just talk, hobbytalk.com, a forum for every hobby. And for the finest reference collection of feature film studio props and miniatures and models, it's Modelers, Miniatures, and Magic at modelermagic.com.